So we are able to upgrade the distribution for upgrading whole Cinder deployment. Then we can upgrade tools one by one because they will keep compatibility, and newer services will be able to detect that they are running version heterogeneous environment. So the order that is right now recommended is top down. So we are starting with Cinder Rapid and Cinder Scheduler, Cinder Volume, and Cinder Backup. It's critical to have Cinder volumes upgraded before backup because now backups are using new features of Cinder Volume RPC API. They are using new calls. So if we would do that the other way around, all the backup calls will fail. So that's one constraint we needed to have.
And that's because of specific changes we just did. Will that ever change?
Well, this is because of scalable backup changes.
I'm just wondering, will the order ever change, or is that order always a safe order?
I'm afraid it can change because of the specific changes. Right. Yeah, so we should probably have a release note for that all the time. Good thing is that the rest in the APIs in the volume, I think that you can exchange them in an order. The hard constraint between volume and backup. Okay, and then
okay. Are those slides in the Etherpad, or do you have a link for that somewhere?
The previous one.
Oh, in the previous. I'll get it. Don't worry.
Okay, so we've also implemented the CCAP signal to reset version P. So it works in a way that the older services, newer services are querying the services table to get, because all the services now are reporting the versions to the services table, right? So when a new service is started, it queries the services table and looks for the lowest common denominator and downgrades all the messages and all the objects to that version. So the older services will understood all the messages. And this is cached because if we hadn't implemented any cache for that, we would have additional DB code for every RPC call, which is very bad. So that's cached for once there's just at the start of the service. We are determining the version we are feeding to. And to reset that, we implemented CCAP signal, so we can for the Cinder scheduler that you've completed the upgrade and all of the Cinder volumes are in new versions. So Cinder scheduler will reload its pins and will work just normally. There's one catch here that if we have old services in the deployment, like stale records there, or for some services that aren't really there, they are also counted. So we should keep the services table clean. That's easy because we have Cinder manage command to delete services. So that's easy, but it's something that operators need to be aware of. Okay, so let's look how it works. Yep. After all that steps, we have been seeing that. I've gone through that on the previous one, so let me just okay. So something that we are missing is I was testing the manually, so I've made sure that our release version is passes tempest when running in mixed environment. So that should be fine, but well, as with backporting stuff, I am losing this confidence. So we should have a CI. So that's one thing I want to talk about.
So was that you or someone else I thought was looking at using the grenade infrastructure?
Yeah. Okay. That's the idea I have right now. Okay, so that's missing. Oh, sorry, I have missing part. Previous slide. Okay, so we are reviewing migration to the new guidance in mind, so that's fine. We haven't merged any incompatibilities. We don't have centralized online data migrations infrastructure. This is something we talked previously. It's in review right now with this consistency groups patch, groups volume types patch. And no post-upgrade schema migration infrastructure. So the idea is that once the upgrade is completed, we will probably be able to remove some columns we are not the new release is not depending on. So for that we could use kind of post-upgrade migration. So the migration that operator would run after all of these services are running the newer version. However, that's not implemented. That's a step that we should take. I think that there were agreement that this is needed. Right, Volker? Okay. We have all the stuff with RPC versioning. This I believe is working fine. It's well tested. Besides two patches that Volker recently made that are fixing two issues with very small deployments, like one service, right? And we haven't converted every RPC dictionaries that are flying over the RPC. So we still haven't converted some files to pass the DB object. That haven't affected the Liberty Mitaka upgrade because we haven't hit any situation when that would be required. But well, that doesn't mean it won't be like that in the future. And all non-DB objects like dictionaries that are sent over the RPC aren't converted. So it's very easy to introduce compatibility inside such dictionary. So they should be the structure, let's say, the structure documented. Like 4 patches in review with request spec and filter properties objects. And there should be 2 more converted like capabilities, which are also dictionaries and over the RPC. And same goes for newly introduced one of the calls related to scalable backups. That was very simple dictionary with three elements. But I believe that this should be done to make sure that we are controlling what we are sending in the dictionaries. Okay, and as I said, we don't have any testing in the CI. Okay, so that's what I wanted to present. Now we should probably discuss this testing aspect, as it is the most crucial one. I believe that the conversion to objects can continue. Yeah, we're fine with that. Patches are quite difficult to review, but well, nothing's easy.
Yeah. How does Nova do CI for this?
Sorry?
How does Nova do CI for this? Or do they?
Yeah, so Nova has a partial grenade job, partial multi-node grenade job, which works in a way that it upgrades, it deploys stable, now it should be stable Liberty. Then it upgrades the controller node. So it's 2-node setup. We have compute node on one VM, and second stack is running the control plane services. And then they are upgrading the controller node and running Tempest again against that mixed environment. So they came on the fact that compute can be upgraded after everything else.
We could do the same thing with the API and scheduler and volume.
I was thinking that this is a good idea. I've had some other ones.
Wouldn't we also need to test the API and the scheduler and volume on different combinations and permutations of that nonsense, and
that's
to catch everything?
So let me try.
At least we only have 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I just describe it. So the easiest one would be to copy the Nova's approach. So we would have Cinder API, Cinder scheduler in one node, and Cinder volume in the second one. I don't know what to do with Cinder backup now, as it's decoupled from Cinder volume now.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's another service.
another service. So one important information is that Granite is really flexible, and I don't think it's possible to run more than 2 or 3 VMs in Granite. Its architecture is haven't predicted that usage.
No, I don't remember. In Tokyo, there was some discussion. They were trying to make it easier to do multi-node setup. Do you know, is that something, have you heard anything about that? If that's something they're still working on, or is that what they're using now?
I believe that.
Okay.
So isn't that, it's all running right now?
Well, I know they're running it that way, but there
No, but there's
was
only 2 VMs
sounded like a broader.
No, and if we have multiple services, we should probably have multiple nodes running that service.
One for each service.
Yeah, and I think Neutron is deploying escaping on Grenade on 3 nodes, but that's still we have 4 of them.
Well, 3 is better than 1 at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Another idea would be to install all the services in the virtual ends and upgrade them one by one. But the problem here is how much time would such tests take. Because if we would just deploy stable Liberty and upgrade the API, run Tempest, then upgrade scheduler, run Tempest.
Can we have separate jobs for each of those scenarios?
Oh, I don't do that.
Yeah, just that's the way I would do it.
Oh yeah, it's still like using a lot of infra.
Yeah, that'd be my concern.
I don't know what the policy is against that, but I mean, if you really want to have CI against these services and support rolling upgrades, we need to test every scenario, which is.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one.
But I think at this point, I mean, putting even a subset of those together as separate jobs would be better than what we have now. So.
So I was thinking of starting with the approach with Cinder volume and maybe Cinder backup in the on the other node, and Cinder API and Cinder scheduler on the node that gets upgraded, and at first based on that.
That'd be a great first step, I think.
Yeah.
So we at least have something in place.
But then we can expand that to these multiple scenarios.
Yeah, especially for something that is, say, as complicated as this is, we need to make sure it's checked and gated.
Yeah, then if we will have, well, one of the problems is that our Tempest coverage isn't really that good. But if we are waiting on Tempest for normal changes, then I don't see a reason to be more diligent in rolling coverage scenarios. I mean, the bugs will come up about the not covered scenarios, but well, this is the same for other testings we are doing.
It's no worse.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can stand this for that because Granite actually runs Tempest internal. Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
So I will do.
Was there?
I don't know if someone has more experience with gates in Cinder. I don't know.
Anybody want more experience with data center?
Ivan and I are going to talk. We have started the whole testing thread and places to improve, because I got a ton of things I need to add for API microversions. And I think I was talking with Matt Ridman about how we don't test Cinder migrate, and that is blocking multi-attach, because we need to be able to test it with multi-attach. So
And swap volume.
we got it. So
just migrate quite to have two distinct volume nodes or not?
Two different backends.
Yeah,
With different backends. So simply two LVM backends on
That
a
would
single
work.
node will succeed.
Better than what we have.
But that's still being another job.
Another job.
I was pretty sure you had one.
Sorry? No, what he's afraid of is if we add multi-attach that we might be breaking migrate. Since there's no test in place for migrate and swap volume.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering, thinking about doing a single node, just to find what we can drive on multi-backend. I don't think credit for multi-attach.
A single node, yeah, it would need to be multiple.
It was something about
Finish in 15 minutes.
Is there, besides testing, is there anything else that still needs to be done for us to?
I would be more confident if you would have all this payload like this dictionary sent over the RPC converter.
Oh, the other ones that we haven't done. Okay.
I think that the second priority is to make the calls send objects. That's there are scenarios that involve this kind of requirement are pretty rare to me. So it's very easy to break compatibility when someone changes the dictionary sent over the RPC, and that's something we should care about. So there are 4 patches. I can probably paste links on the ether path.
Is that the switch X to OVO? So I've got a list here. Convert filter properties to OVO,
Yeah.
switch request spec list to create CG to
Oh,
OVO.
there's one more thing actually. So there's one patch that is actually 2 patches. So just before the release, we decided to bump the RPC major version. Well, it wasn't required, but it is. We should drop compatibility with older versions with the major version bump just to be just for the formal stuff. So we did that, but then we should remove the support for the 1.x from Newton. So there are patches out there. Senior scheduler patch is merged. There are 2 more for backups, which is trivial. The one is very easy, and for volumes, which is also pretty easy, but still haven't received enough reviewing attention. And it would be cool to have them merged early because they are blocking any work with RPC layer.
So that was remove support for 1x volume
That's the
RPC.
one.
Okay. And backup RPC as well.
Yeah, so maybe.
Okay. Scheduler was merged, volume and backup are not. Okay.
Something back to the Tempest test, migration one that we need in. So Vincent has a patch out there, but it's been last to by Matt Trench, because of CI. I just sent Scott the link and.
I think I remember that.
If anybody else wants to look at it.
Okay.
But what does that mean? A Tempest test is
Right.
-2 because it doesn't have CI. Like,
Yeah.
No unit test or something?
He says,
Is that what
he said, so we can't merge this until we see CI running somewhere. These tests are mostly self-validating so to ensure it actually works and continues to work in the future, we need to see it running preferably on the community CI.
So that's for the migration.
Yeah, for the migration.
But we
Tempest
had
test that
similar
Vincent-
story with the.
Oh, hold on,
manager.
Eric had a comment.
Oh,
So I'll do this with one more point. The issue is, I think the issue is that you're gonna write it because they don't want it to go into Tempest, so you can wire it up and when it shows that it works.
How do you do with that without
I think you have to like put enough options in project config or whatever, to turn it on and do events on.
Oh, disable it by default kind of thing and
Yeah.
create a new job that
Because
just,
you can, we have to make a job, you can run it, And I got kind of lazy with this because I have a point made at this test that hit this point and I didn't listen to it. Kind of sat there. There are ways.
Is any of that documented anywhere other than just people minus 2 in taxes?
Probably on the same that it's
Not
documented,
that it's-
you know, the right place to go.
I think.
I will point out, we've got the patch out there for the infrastructure for in-tree tempest tests that might allow us
And
to.
that kind of thing. a whole lot.
Yeah, but this is, we're still needing stuff in regular
Yeah.
dentistry, and we, I mean,
Well-
we gotta figure out how to solve the problem.
As far as this validated, showing that something works, we don't, yeah, we don't really want to use in-tree as a sandbox, but it could be kind of an incubator that we could do things in-tree. And then once we can show infra that it's a stable, good tempest test, we could migrate it out of our in-tree tempest
Obviously,
onto,
there are things like, Nova, Cinder, stuff.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. So there's limitations, but it's somewhere that we have say over what goes in there.
figure this all out on, the institute attached that hasn't been Rogers, I think, is very clear that the review response description doesn't say, well, does it, you explained it well.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can wire up that.
Why are we doing implement?
It's way too easy.
Help us.
Cue rants, no.
Okay, so from my perspective, to get out from the tech preview state and for me to accept the fact that I will be blamed for every failed upgrade, how it works, we should have these two things: the granny test with different version of services, and all the patches with converting the dictionaries to objects. So that worked for me, and I think that's the right thing to do.
Seems attainable for Newton.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So how do you want to reuse the time? What's the next session plan? How what concept?
Yeah, we might be able to gain. Sorry.
Do you want to restart that
You happen to have.
broadcast just to keep it simple or let it roll?
I mean,
We probably
then
should
maybe
restart it, and then if we need to go back later and reference anything, then
I'll put it in there. Does it show up, the URL?
Or you have,
So,
yeah, if you just put it up
when
there.
I
I'll
clicked on the
submit.
URL, I could get into it, but it was
I
weird,
think
because
we
when I
should
put
just
that
talk
URL
through
into
those
the
ideas.
Google shortener to like,
And
it
honestly,
was like, that's not a valid URL, no? But it still worked when I clicked on it to go to the YouTube stream. So I don't know.
think I've
If you don't have, let me put it on our.